I got a link down the description for how we pour jig heads, how we decollar them, and our other jigs that we've been tying. I hope you check them out after this video. But like always, I share what kind of paint that we put on these. If you want to buy your own blank jig heads, maybe from Walmart or wherever, and paint them up yourself. On our smaller jigs, we always go with LA colors. Best on the market, in my opinion. Been doing this for quite a while, and this is my favorite fingernail polish. It's $1 a bottle, and if you get it with a sticker, it's got the hardeners in it, which makes it a harder, tougher fingernail polish. I start out with a white base coat over the lead, and sometimes I may add 2 to it. And then I add a nice coat of 400. This is the red over top of the white. And then a couple of thin coats of Sally Hansen Hard as Nails, the best on the market. And it's also great for cementing them collars in if you like using like a hardener fingernail polish. And yeah, this is great right here. It gives it a nice shiny finish to it, and it helps protect that fingernail polish as well. We're going to be using some good old chartreuse bucktail. We're going to be using black thread. This is A by Do It. Red, I go black. Blackhead, I go with a red. And then we're going to be finishing it up with a couple of strands of red crystal flash right here. Pretty simple tie. So we'll start out, and we'll lay a base coat down here for our thread. I like going about 1/4 of a way down on the shank of the hook, and then right back up to the back of the jig head. Cut that tag off there. And then on a small jig head like this, I like going with a smaller profile body. You know, I don't want a lot of bucktail sticking out back there. And usually I go by my vise, and right up here on the vise, right up toward the back of it here is about 1 inch or so from the bend of the hook, and then right in front of it's about 3/4 to about 1/2 inch. That's what I shoot for when I'm tying crappie and white bass type jigs. So I'll just get my bucktail up here, just pinch some of it up, and kindly get a good picture of what I'm going to be using right here. I'll go ahead and get that cut. Just like so. And then you may have to, you know, weed out a few of the longer hairs out of it. I don't care having a few sticking out to give it a little character look, because these are fishing jigs. These jigs ain't made to show. These jigs ain't made for a wow factor. They're going in the box, and they're going to be catching fish. That's about it. And I'll usually push down to see where I'm at. That looks pretty good right there. Then I'll pinch it up, get another look, see how that's looking. And then we're going to go ahead, remove any from the front. I want to smooth that front up a little bit more. Take just a little bit off of it with my scissors. Smooth it down there, and then I'm going to place it right up against that jig head. And then I'm going to do one loose route, catching it, and then one good tight wrap, and then one more tight wrap on it to hold it in place, just to look at it to see where I'm at in the back here. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to pinch it back up again, remove any loose hairs that's wanting to come out of the front. And as I'm tightening this down, I'm pushing down on the shank of that hook while pushing forward toward the jig head to get that hair across the body of that hook. Then I go ahead and I start tightening it down, building that collar up. And if you got some hair sticking through right there, that's no problem. You know what I usually do? I usually take a black Sharpie or whatever color that my thread is, and I'll just paint it in. And I honestly, I don't care if a little bit of fiber sticking through or not on it. Like I was saying, these are fishing jigs. Now next, I'll take some of my crystal flashing. I'll just hold it up like this right here. Get right up next to that zip tie. And I'll just cut me a couple of strands of it off. And then I'll wet it. Kind of get it flushed right in the back right here, the two together, because I want them to stick right out past that end of that bucktail a little piece. That looks pretty good right there. Then I'll bump it right up against the side of it, and I'll give it 3 or 4 turns around it. Just tying it in. That looks pretty good right there. Then I'll take the excess of this flash and I will go across the top of the jig right here and lay it right across the top of the collar and lay it right down towards the side. It can be tricky sometimes. It wants to spring around with you, but just get it laid right down the side. Pinch him up, give him 3 or 4 turns, and then I'll take my vise. Oh, he about slipped out on me there. I'll take my vise, I'll turn it over on its side a little, and I'll take my flash, pull it across, and then I will tie it in. There we go. And then I'll go ahead and cut this, kind of eyeball it, and cut it to fit on that side as well. It looks pretty good there. Bring it back up toward the front. And then it's time to whip finish it. And I do 5 turns when I'm whip finishing. And I'll take my thread, wrap it around my finger, don't break it, seat it down real good, and then cut it. There we go. And then last but not least, I will take just a drop of Loctite super glue. This is my favorite thing to tie in my thread to keep it from going anywhere. I'll put just a drop or 2 on it, not much. And then I'll take a old paintbrush that I've got and I'll just run it around it. That gives it a nice little shine. Plus, that's not going to let that collar come loose. There we go. The cherry apple, a simple little tie, a simple little fishing jig, but it gets the job done for us on our home lakes, and I'm sure you would have success with it too. And don't forget to check out the other videos down in the description, the playlist on our other jig tying, also on how we pour jig heads, how we decollar them, if you're going to be getting into tying your own jigs and stuff. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, guys. We would love to have you here at Hills and Gills. We're growing every day. Give us a thumbs up. And also follow us over on Facebook and Instagram. Hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified when we upload right here on the channel. Because we're just old country guys that loves fishing just like everybody else does out there. And until next time, stay safe out there in the woods or on the water. And we'll see you right here in the next one. Have yourself a great day.